Today Ukraine sniper brutally kills 660 Russian mercenary as hide in the tanks to flee Volodar. The Ukrainian armed forces shared a video on Sunday of a Russian tank bursting into flames before it exploded. In its Facebook post, the Ukrainian armed forces uploaded a video of a tank that was moving across a large field that was covered in patches of snow. The clip, which was filmed at a significant distance, shows the armored vehicle on fire as it continues across the field before coming to a halt. Seconds later, a larger flame could be seen coming from the tank, with smoke being carried over the field. The video then cuts to show the same tank exploding with a large plume of black smoke being launched into the sky. A caption for the video, which was translated into English from Ukrainian, read, "This is how Russian equipment in Ukraine becomes scrap and the occupiers are missing." The 72nd Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after Black's apple rosettes, knows how to do it perfectly. Let's stand and win. Since being shared, the video has been seen more than 25,000 times and has attracted some 2,000 likes. Ukraine's 72nd Mechanized Brigade has been heavily involved in the war since Russia launched its invasion nearly 1 year ago. According to another Facebook post, Ukraine's armed forces said that 3,310 Russian tanks have been destroyed by the nation's military since the start of the war. According to Warfare Research Group Oryx, 277 Ukrainian tanks have been destroyed, although it was part of a larger total of 467 also listed as abandoned, captured or damaged. There have been numerous examples where videos of Russian vehicles being destroyed by Ukrainian forces have been shared online. A video shared on Twitter by Russian opposition outlet Granny Dotris shows at least 4 Russian vehicles, namely tanks and armored personnel carriers, moving through a minefield. Additional explosions could be seen affecting 2 other vehicles in the video. The location of the video was listed as Donetsk in eastern Ukraine in the clip. Military personnel could be seen leaving the vehicles before the video cut to an explosion that happened at the same time. The International Institute for Strategic Studies (IISS), a think tank based in the United Kingdom, said in its assessment last week that 50% of Russia's T-72B and T-72BM tanks, as well as many of its T-80 tanks, have been destroyed by Ukrainian forces. The think tank also estimated that 1,700 Russian tanks have been lost since the war began, an estimate lower than the Ukrainians have published. However, Henry Boyd, a research fellow at IISS, said that his research does indicate the number could be larger. As Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine nears the 1-year mark, the small industrial city of Bakhmut in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region remains one of the most intense battlegrounds of the war. Russia and Ukrainian forces have engaged in grueling clashes in the area since July. As Moscow remains desperate for its first major battlefield victory since the summer of 2022, Russian troops are fixated on seizing Ukraine's eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. Collectively known as the Donbass, a stated war goal of Russian President Vladimir Putin. The battle for Bakhmut has been costly, with intense fighting in the summer months and clashes increasing in ferocity, more recently between Russian and Ukrainian forces around Bakhmut in the nearby salt mining town of Sadr. Ukrainian troop casualty numbers since the invasion began nearly a year ago are believed to be at least 100,000 dead and wounded, although the Bakhmut death toll is unknown. A top Ukrainian military officer claimed in December that between 50 and 100 Russian troops were killed daily in the battle for the city. Bakhmut, which had a pre-war population of 70,000, is a shell of its former self. According to Ukraine's Koprova, 90% of Batman's residents have fled with the few thousand they remain subject to. Daily fire images and videos from the front line around Bakhmut show clashes between Ukraine and Russia have descended into trench warfare reminiscent of World War I. New Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, has described the situation on the Fred line in Bakhmut as very difficult, but so far Moscow has been unsuccessful in making any strategic advances around the city. The city has also become an important symbol of Ukraine's resistance by mouthholds,